हम्म। everybody. Good evening, family. Good evening. Thank y'all so much for taking your time out of your day and join me. Um, I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking your time out of scrolling and stop by to see little old me and Jennifer Hudson voice. Today topic is very important to me. It hits home. It's Today's topic is new age teachers. Um, New age teachers. Okay, I can see. If I look to the side, it's because I'm trying to read the comments off the computer. But new age teachers going in for mine. Hey, Gail. I'm gonna pull up on my thing so I can see the comments. All right. So I want to talk about the. Today I want to talk about teaching teachers, new age teachers. What does that mean? If you are 30 and older, you probably remember um, having teachers who did not play the radio, teachers who did not talk, chew gum in their class. We had teachers that you raised your hand to speak. If you disobeyed, you had a teacher probably would call your mom or your aunt or your grandmother or someone in your family to kind of let them know what's going on with you. And that is, to me, that's old school teaching. And I, at the time, did not appreciate. But now I can appreciate having teachers like that that was was on top of my behavior, my grades, on top of my personality, what I was doing. They knew what was going on based on the way I was coming to school and how I was acting, and just on top of it, just took teaching, being a teacher to a whole nother level, and that is appreciated. And that at the time as a child, I really felt like, oh, why Miss Odoms always call my mama, or why Miss Robinson always telling my mama what I said. I talk too much in lunchroom or whatever. But those teachers, they had a level of respect and a level of authority that teachers don't have today. And what I mean by the level of authority, teachers do not have respect that they had when I was growing up. Um, the type of teachers that we grew up, they were probably older. They probably were from the older generation. They were patient but very strict, very firm. Um, it was family based. They knew your family. They knew your family group, who you came from, your stock. They knew your extended family. They knew who your siblings were in the school, who your cousins were in the school, and those were old school type teachers. Um, and then you had old school parents. And anybody that grew up with me know what type of mom, thank you, mama, I had. She was definitely um, old school with parenting. And what I mean by old school, she was our older, more mature mother. When she had us, she was stable, financially stable, mentally stable, and we had family values. Um, Certain things we couldn't do. Children could not sit around while grown folks was talking. That was a thing. You were not about to sit amongst adults and talk about the business of laugh and kiki. Um, you had to be in the house at dusk dark. When the sun began to set, that's time to bring it on in. And that's the kind of parenting, old school parenting that I'm talking about. It was more supervision back in the day. It was adults always around. It was older adults. People in the neighborhood. If they saw you doing something, they were going to tell your parents. Um, it was more hands on. Parents were more hands on. I think family units did more things together than they do now. Um, which leads to the crisis at hand. It's two sides to the coin that I want to talk about. I want to talk about teachers. I want to talk about the new age teachers, and I want to talk about um, the new age kids as well. So everybody's seen in the news where the 6 year old took a gun to school and shot his teacher. So it has been reported that this 6 year old kid had some other issues, behavior issues, mental issues. It was some instability reported in his home. It was some other things going on in this child home, and this child was labeled as a problem child. This child was labeled as a disruption. And the teacher knew all of this and kind of reported some of these things that were going on, reported it to other teachers, reported it to the admin staff. Um, and the teacher was aware, from my understanding, the teacher was aware that the student had the gun and told another teacher that the kid had the gun, and they did not check him at the time. Time passed. They did check his book bag, and it was reported that he hadn't put the gun on his person. It was in his pocket or on him in some way. And he went on to recess, and he told the kids that he had the gun and showed the kids he had the gun. So this 6 year old proceeded to um, bring the gun inside the class and shoot the teacher. This is not only the one crisis going on in the school system, we also have crisis where adults are taking guns to school and shooting schools, shooting kids, shooting teachers. This is something unheard of when, if you're 30 and older, unheard of when we went to school. We did not have a fear that someone was gonna come in and shoot up the school. We didn't have those fears that we had to do a code red, code yellow, code blue, code. This is a code for an intruder. This is a code for if it's somebody with a gun. This is a code if it's um, a threat in the school. We didn't really have all of those concerns and issues when we were growing up. Times were much more different, and I think it gives me more leniency with the teachers. It gives me more respect for them. It gives me a different perspective for them, because the teachers today are having to worry about their safety, their kids' safety. Teaching is third, right? So whereas they signed up to be a teacher, which was their first priority, that's now like their third priority, because they gotta worry about their safety first and foremost, and then they have to worry about the kids' safety, and then they have to teach. On top of any other behavior issues, on top of any other social issues, on top of any other mental challenges that this child may face. And, I have gained a deeper level of respect for teachers in today's time, because teachers go through a lot and they are constantly fighting and battling for pay adjustments, raises. The state of Georgia issued a raise for teachers and people in higher education for the first time in, I think it was 14 years, and that is, or 7 years, 7 or 14 years. Either way, that's unheard of, because without teachers, we wouldn't have doctors or lawyers or mechanics or plumbers or school bus drivers or whatever your profession is, because you first have to graduate and get a job. So teachers are our first primal instinct when it comes to our kids and gaining what they need to be successful in society. So the kid took the gun to school, shot the teacher. Where does that stand? I mean, where does that sit with parents?
because now parents who lock up guns or don't have guns or protect their kids or are parenting in a more stricter fashion, they're now having to worry about, is my kid safe in the school with other kids, or is my kid safe in school with other people, or is my kid learning what they need to learn. um and it's just disgraceful, and it's just to me, speaking on this subject, I had one idea where I was going with it, but in the light of everything that's happening, so much more has been revealed to me, like to issue grace for teachers and to pray for teachers. And I've never wanted to be a teacher, but I see some people who I went to school with and who are younger than me who became teachers. And I think that must be the most proudest job to have, to be a teacher and to, care about somebody else's kids, to care about whether these children are learning, whether they're able to function in society, whether they're meeting these milestones and making the marks and having developmental successes. And I think it's important, and I think it's important to address where we stand as parents. I think it's important to address where we lack as parents and where these children lack, because now we kind of got to say that we're lost some way, somehow, and we got to figure out where we dropped the ball. And that's going to definitely take not just parents, not just teachers, but a village. And that was one of the comments that my mom stated. She said it takes a village, and it really does take a village, because you can't catch everything that your child says or does. And when they leave your house, they may be different when they're with their friends. The teacher might deal with a different child at school than the child you have at home. And so I think as parents, we have to be more hands-on, we have to be more direct, and we have to pay attention to clues, context clues that's going on with our children. And we are going to support our kids, but we got to also support the teachers. And for myself, to give a little backstory, my oldest is turning 13 this month, and I remember her being in 4th grade, and Mackenzie always wore glasses. I think she started wearing glasses like in the 1st or 2nd grade, and glasses are expensive. I never had to purchase glasses. My mom, I didn't wear glasses. Nobody in my family wore glasses. Well, my child needed glasses. She had to wear glasses. They were expensive, and we kept up with those glasses. We made sure we took care of those glasses. We mess around or anything, because we knew that I knew as a mom she needs these to be successful in school. It's not a fashion trend. It's not any of that. This is something that she needs to be the best that she can be. So I didn't play by those glasses. So we she went to school and came home from school one day, and she didn't have on the glasses. So I'm like, where are your glasses? And she gave me a little envelope, and the glasses were in the envelope and they were broken. And I said, well, what happened? What happened to your glasses? And she said, oh, well, Miss such and such put them in the envelope because one of the little boys hit me, and they fell on the ground and they broke, and blah blah blah, whatever the story was, whatever happened to the glasses. And to say I was livid, I was livid, because one, I could not afford to purchase another pair of glasses, but I was going to have to find that money to purchase those glasses. Two, I was livid because where is the note? Where's the letter? Where is the decency from the teacher to say, hey, we had an accident at school today, Mackenzie was playing on the playground, somebody pushed her, whatever happened with the glasses. And um when it happened, the fact that school was over and she went the rest of the day without her glasses, it made me even more upset. So of course I went to the school and I went to that teacher class, and I said, well, I'm just wondering what happened to Mackenzie's glasses. She sent me, she showed me the glasses in the envelope. I said, but you didn't let me know the story behind what happened to the glasses. You didn't message me about the glasses. You didn't write in her agenda what happened about the glasses. You didn't tell me it was an incident report about her and the other student with the glasses. So, at that point, I'm like, this is me defending my child. This is me getting ready to pop off in a respectful way, and I'll get to that part later. Um, Pop off respectfully about my baby and about her glasses. Because what you're not gonna do is spend my money for me. What you're not gonna do is discredit what I work hard to provide for my child, and you're not gonna disregard the fact that as a teacher, you should have called, you should have messaged, you should have done something other than send them glasses home in that envelope. So I'm standing outside the teacher door, and cause I walked Mackenzie in to the school and walked to the teacher classroom. I sent Mackenzie on the classroom. I stood outside the teacher's door talking to her about, how I would have appreciated if she would have called me and told me X, Y, and Z about the glasses. And she said, "Oh yeah, we just got so busy, and I was gonna let you know that it happened, but it wasn't, that big of a deal, and um, they were just playing, and he pushed her, and whatever, whatever, whatever." So I'm like, that's not what she said. However, even if that was the case, you should have let me know. As a parent, we have to be on top of these teachers, and as a teacher, these teachers have to be on top of their students and what's going on. And so, anyway, the little boy walk up who had pushed her, and so she said, "Here go the teacher. Here he comes right now. He's such a troublemaker, da 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 da, and his parents won't do anything to him. And this is not the first kid that he's hit, and blah blah blah, and da 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 da." Now you on my side, because at this point now you want to push the blame off you as a teacher and what happened in your classroom that you did not report, because now you have a black mom standing at your door questioning you what happened. So the little boy came up, and I remember this like it happened yesterday. And I said, "Hey, whatever his name was, I said, hey, Marcus, how are you?" And he said, hey, and Mackenzie told me that you pushed her down yesterday and you broke her glasses. And he said, started looking around, and he looking at the teacher like, what I'm supposed to say. And I'm like, well, you should keep your hands to yourself, and that is called assault. Let me educate you. This is me being professional, but highly, highly peed off. So said, well, that is called assault, and you can go to jail for that. And I said, you really should keep your hands to yourself and think about that, because you wouldn't want me to push you down. You wouldn't want me to put my hands on you as a, well, you a mama. I said, well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. Everybody should respect each other, respect each other's space, and keep their hands to themselves. So anyway, he went on in the class. The teacher was like, "Thank you for talking with him, and thank you for coming up here, blah blah blah." End of the day, I go on to work, feel somewhat better about what happened, but still, not satisfied. So later on that day, the principal called, black lady. She said, "Yes, I'm principal such and such, and I was calling you because little Marcus, whatever his name was, he called his mom. He went home and told his mom that you said that you were gonna slap him, and you were gonna do this, this, and this to him because he broke your child's glasses." Excuse me. Excuse me. I was livid at this point. I said, let me tell you something. Now, at this point, ain't no professionalism, because it's me and the principal, and I gotta let her know what happened. I said, let me tell you something. I said, Miss Such and Such did not call me when my child was physically assaulted. Nor did she write an incident report, nor have I heard any reformation that had been done to this child who has assaulted my child. Nothing has been done to him. I said, you gonna call me about hearsay? You gonna call me about what a 8-year-old said? I said, now why would I ever come up to the school? I said, I'm a therapist and I have credentials. I said, why would I ever come up to the school and tell a kid that I'm gonna slap him? I said, does that even sound logical? I said, now you calling me to tell me what this kid said to his mom. I said, but you didn't call me to apologize on the physical assault that was done to my child on yesterday. Nor did you call me to ask me how much compensation I needed to repair my child's glasses. By the way, which is interrupting her schoolwork because now she can't see because we gotta wait till the glasses get fixed. Oh, I gave it to her. The principal. Yes, I did. I gave it to her. And this is what I mean by popping off for our kids, because it takes us being direct and being present, and it takes us being aware of what's going on. And I, in my mind and in my heart, I was very disappointed that this happened to my child, because she's not a fighter. She's sweet. She's not gonna do anything to anybody else. And the fact that you call me about this problem child and what he done told his mom. Well, I was just saying because his mom want a conference. I said, well, let's have one. I'm ready. What time? What day? When we need to show up? Because I'll be there. Well, Miss White, I'm not trying to say that we gonna have no altercation because I don't want any issues. I said, well, you ain't want no issues when my baby glasses got broke. Nobody wanted issues then. Nobody wanted to talk about the case that Mackenzie had been assaulted and Mackenzie had experienced something, because you thought I was gonna be calm, cool, and collect. You thought I was gonna be professional. I got something to lose. I'm not gonna come up to the school and act the fool, but I will. If need be, I will. And so, that was one of the. I just had a problem with that. Um, Needless to say, Mackenzie classes got repaired, and we carried on. The parent did not want to have a conference because I was ready for her, and that was swept under the rug. But it's instances like that you know for teachers, just like, the teacher got responsibilities, that. And what I really, now today, what I never heard my mom say, that a teacher told her, well, I got 28 other kids and I got 120 papers to grade. That part, to me, telling a parent how many other kids that the teacher has to look after is to me, it shows me that, okay, my baby's just a number. It's not showing me that you have a load, even though what you're trying to express is that you have a load. You missed something, you weren't able to get to something, or whatever happened, and this is the reason why, because I got busy and I got bogged down with some other students and some other work. That's understandable. But when a teacher tells a parent, I have 140 other papers to grade, I'm like, and old school teachers would have never said that. Old school teachers wouldn't have never given a parent that response if you questioning what happened. And I'm never that parent that is always on my child's side. I tell my kids all the time, I say, if report cards or progress reports or whatever come home and them grades not looking like whatever, I say, okay, this what we gonna do. You go find whatever you, well, mama, she put a 50 and I made 100. I said, well, go find the paper. Show it to me. Because when we go talk to them, we're going to have our receipts. We're going to have everything that we're supposed to have to prove that this is not where you stand. And that's the type of mom I am, where I feel like I'm going to be on my child's side and I'm going to support her. But when she wrong, she wrong. So if we get those receipts and lo and behold, you got a 50, now you and I got a problem. Because it's not your teacher. At this point, it's you. It's you dropping the ball. It's you didn't do something. And my child dropping the ball is me dropping the ball. I dropped the ball as a mom. And that's how we have to stand with our kids. That's how we stand with our teachers. We have to have some unity across the board. We cannot be teachers against parents, or teachers against or parents against teachers, or students against the parents. We all have to be on one accord if we want our babies to succeed. I'm never gonna run up to a school and say, "Well, my child said this and my child said that." I'm gonna say, "Get the receipts." So when we go and we talk to Miss Such and Such, don't have me looking like no fool. Don't have me up here fussing and carrying on about something you didn't do, because I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask the teacher. Okay, show me her grades. Show me what she did. Show me what she didn't do. Show me what was late. Checks and balances. That's right, mama. You have to have that in place. It teaches your children responsibility and accountability. It let the teachers know, oh, Miss Jackson don't play. And that's what her teachers say now. The one thing I really miss about growing up in a small town is that those teachers knew who your family was. They knew who your mom was, who your grandma was, your auntie, your cousins, and everybody. Growing up in a town where you don't know the family, it's almost like they don't care to me. I don't know her. I don't know who Mackenzie Oliver is. I don't know who Coletta Jackson is. I don't know Coletta White. I don't know who her parents are. I don't know if this child, focusing at home, if she got a good um upbringing. I don't, teachers don't have that background information about the students and about the family, because that helps, to me, that helps bring us together. And if you don't know, which you don't have that luxury because you don't know me and I'm not from here, then I'm coming to the school so you can get to know me. I'm coming to the parent teacher conference so you can see my face. I'm getting off my job. I'm letting my boss know, hey, I gotta leave today because I need to go to a parent teacher conference. Or I need an alternative work schedule because my child needs to be picked up from tutoring this week. It's things that we do as parents. We cannot let up. We cannot let up. We cannot let up. Teachers, they cannot let up. We can't provide excuses to our parents. We can't say how many kids we got in our class, because we got to have unity across the board, because no one group can do it alone. The kids can't do it by themselves. The parents can do it. I'm not in the 7th grade. I go to work every day. I don't go to the elementary school every day, the middle school every day. The teachers got to have support from the parents. They got to know that if your child made a 50, you're going to be home with them studying and reading and regrouping and coming back so they can come back stronger. And that's what it's all about. It's all about elevation, and it's about supporting everybody, because everybody is trying to support this child. So it fell on my heart really, really, really bad to do this episode um about popping off for your kids and showing support, and just compare and contrast with new age teachers and current teachers. So we got so many crises in school, right? We got teachers retiring at an all-time high. Why are teachers retiring? Well, you got older teachers that they worked there 30 years and it's time for them to go home. And then you got people who are getting in professional realm and maybe don't want to be a teacher, or maybe I got the passion for it, but it's not paying enough, or whatever those issues are. The overload in work, large class sizes. The class sizes are large because they don't have enough teachers to teach. Which ultimately hurt the kids, because now the teachers got to teach more information to more kids, and then they have to less time to work on it because you got more kids. And it hurts the kids now, because if you don't have parents coming home to work with these kids, if something that they missed or something that teachers went over quickly because of they got to cover so much content, then your child is falling behind. You got a shortage of teachers. There's a national shortage of teachers. Teachers are on strike. Teachers are leaving the workforce. They're leaving the profession. They're choosing other professions when they got a desire and a heart to be teachers. But you got gun violence in school. You got, which I haven't even got started to talk about, how you can't even say nothing to these kids nowadays. You say something to a kid and they mama flying up to the school telling you, oh, you better not say nothing to my baby. If you got a problem, you need to write a note. Which you have to have discipline at home before they even come to school, because it's not gonna show. It's gonna show in the school system. It's gonna show where they not getting what they need, and it's gonna show up. It's gonna show up. So, anyways, yes, you got disrespectful kids that the teachers can't control them, the parents can't control them, can't nobody do that with them, and at the end of the day, it's hurting everybody. So my plea is that we all work together. We work together with the teachers. We work together as parents. We work together with our kids and cut this out, but don't cut it out. And issue some ass whipping because it's needed. Okay? And somebody might look at that and be like, oh my God. Yes, I'm that kind of mama. I do believe in that because it's important too. You're not finna embarrass me. You're not about to go to school and not do what you're supposed to do and pop off and then think that, oh, I could just say what I want to say and do what I want to do. My parents not gonna say anything. So um today's type of parents, I feel like they encourage independence, which is good. And I'm one of those parents. I have a 13-year-old and a 3-year old. Well, she'll be 4 this year. She'll be 13 this year. And I do encourage my younger kid to be more independent. I do encourage her to try things on her own. I do encourage her to play imaginary. I encourage her to try to do things by herself. I encourage her to be okay with spending alone time. And I think that's important because parents are not home when their kids get home and sitting at home. Parents are out working. You got two parents working to make ends meet. You got all kind of stuff going on, so you do kind of need these kids to have some sort of independence. But we don't want to get too far with independence where they're not getting those skill sets from home that you're gonna know how to act when we go in these streets. You're gonna know how to act when you go to school, and you're gonna know how to focus and concentrate and get your lesson, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Last thing before I go and I read the comments and see if I missed anything. Um, Today's parents take more risks and allow more freedom. And I'm one of those parents that allows more freedom. I do allow way more freedom than my mom because I get it. As parents, we don't want to be our parents to our kids. We don't want to do the same thing that our parents did to us to our kids. But I will say, do what works. By any means necessary, do what works. Because what we cannot do is fail our children. We cannot fail them at home, and we cannot fail them at school. So we must do our part. We must pay attention. We must give in to what it takes, discipline at home. And we got to check the teachers too when they're wrong, and when they're right, we have to support them, and we have to let them know that this is what we observe, this is what we are, and show up to the parent teacher conference. Don't show up with your bunny and your leggings on. Show up dressed. Show up dressed. Show up dressed. Don't embarrass your children because we don't want them to embarrass us. And so this is my note tonight. It fell on my heart to talk about this, and I really want to talk about it and bring it to light and kind of talk about it to show all the sides. It's not one sided. It's not just supporting your kids, but it's also supporting those teachers because they go through a lot. They go through more than any other profession, and I give my hats off to any teacher, and I congratulate all people who are willing to be teachers and willing to sacrifice and spend that much time with our kids to sharpen and develop them. That's what I have tonight. We had a few technical difficulties, but thank you for hanging in there with me. We will go live again. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday with another episode and another review from the Unknown Empress. Thank y'all for spending time with me. I love y'all and good night.